The white heterosexual girl, Caitlin Clark, got herself an 8-figure Nike deal, and that's a big deal in the basketball community. See, in the basketball community, you kind of judge your success on your shoe deal. It is literally idiotic. Well, Nikola Jokic is the MVP of the league. He's the best player in the world. He's been the best player in the world for the last few years. You know who he has a shoe deal with? I'm going to tell you here.
In today's sports world, praise isn't handed out, it's earned. So when Nikola Jokic, the two-time MVP and NBA champion, hit pause on everything to send Caitlin Clark a powerful, unexpected message, it sent shockwaves through the basketball community. But here's what no one saw coming. He wasn't the only one with something to say. And if you think that moment was big, just wait, because this story goes way deeper than a single compliment. Stick around. The next part might just change everything you thought you knew.
Standing ovation on the Jumbotron here. Everybody welcoming him in. So much love for Jokic here in Denver, guys.
Oh, absolutely, KG.
Let's start with Nikola Jokic. He's not the loudest voice in the NBA. No rants, no headline chasing, just quiet dominance. But when he talks, the basketball world pays attention. And what he had to say about Caitlin Clark, it left everyone speechless.
He had 23 points, came down to earth after dropping 36, 21, and 14 in game one. He had just 23 points and 9 of 21 shooting, but still had 17 rebounds and 12 assists, 3 steals. The man had another triple-double. He's sensational. Slow as a snail, can't jump onto a curb, big tub of lard, and you can't stop him. It's just the truth.
Jokic praised Clark's off-the-charts basketball IQ and the way she's reshaping the game. Caitlin plays with a vision and understanding that's rare, he said. She elevates everyone around her. That's the mark of a true great. And here's where things get even crazier.
Heterosexual girl, Caitlin Clark, got herself an 8-figure Nike deal, and that's a big deal in the basketball community. See, in the basketball community, you kind of judge your success on your shoe deal. It is literally idiotic. Well, Nikola Jokic is the MVP of the league. He's the best player in the world. He's been the best player in the world for the last few years. You know who he has a shoe deal with? I'm going to tell you here in a minute. Wembanyama is the next big thing, certainly more so than Jokic, regardless of the results on the court, although Wembanyama is going to be the MVP of the league probably within 2 years. According to reports, Nike had no plan to build a shoe around Jokic, instead focusing on Victor Wembanyama, the face of the brand's new Air Immersion Space sneakers. And I get it. Jokic ultimately had to settle for a deal with a Chinese company, 361 Degrees, a brand that can hardly keep pace with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. No, it cannot hardly keep pace. It has no chance of keeping.
Analysts dove back into the tape, studying Clark's game, and what they found was stunning. Her ball movement drew legit comparisons to Jokic himself. Her IQ, not just elite for a rookie, elite, period. And if that caught you off guard, buckle up, because now, some of the biggest names in the NBA are lining up to show her love.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right. From anyone that's, you know, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, you know, charter, that should be celebrated. And it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
LeBron James isn't one to hand out compliments like candy. But when Caitlin Clark started rewriting college record books and turning the WNBA into MustWatch TV, he couldn't stay silent. She's great for basketball. Period. But here's what most people missed. LeBron's shout-out wasn't just a tweet. It felt like a passing of the torch. This is a man who helped shape the global face of modern basketball. When LeBron says you matter to the entire game. And that leads us straight to the deep-range king.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. No shot is a bad shot. And when you can shoot it as well as she...
Steph Curry, the man who made logo threes a part of the game's DNA, called Caitlin Clark must-see TV. But the reason behind it? That'll blow your mind. Steph doesn't see her as a copy. He sees her as the next evolution of the shooter, a true successor. And just when you thought it couldn't get wilder, Curry admitted that Clark's unshakable confidence reminds him of his own rise. That's a full-circle moment nobody saw coming. What's crazy? Steph and Caitlin have more in common than you'd think, on and off the court. before the rings, before the unanimous MVP, before he became the face of a basketball revolution. Steph was just a quiet, fiery sharpshooter with something to prove, and a jumper that spoke louder than words. And Nike? They had a front row seat. They had every chance to lock him in. But what went down in that boardroom? It's still one of the most boneheaded moves in modern sports marketing.
The all-time three-point king in the NBA!
When Steph Curry's Nike contract came up for renewal in 2013, the pitch was nothing short of sloppy, almost careless. One Nike executive even mispronounced his name as Stephon. Not exactly the move you make when you're sitting across from a guy about to change the league. Then came the slide deck. Still had Kevin Durant's name on it. They hadn't even bothered to customize the presentation for Steph. It wasn't just disrespectful, it was flat out humiliating. And it got worse. Nike didn't offer Curry his own signature shoe line. Instead, they handed him a low-tay deal, bundled with lesser-known athletes, with zero belief in his future. So Steph walked. He signed with Under Armour. And what happened next became the stuff of legend. Curry didn't just prove Nike wrong. He turned Under Armour into a legit basketball brand. He didn't just win championships, he redefined how basketball is played. That quiet, unflashy, team-first kid from Davidson became the greatest shooter in NBA history, the face of a global brand, and the NBA's most beloved superstar.
It's inside half court. Curry pulls up from the logo. It's good! Curry with a little shimmy at midcourt and a timeout for Dallas.
What makes this story almost unbelievable is that it's happening again, in real time. Only this time, the player isn't Stephen Curry. It's Caitlin Clark. Just like Steph, Caitlin is being overlooked by the very brand that claims to be ahead of the curve. Nike offered her a $5 million endorsement deal. And while that might sound impressive, it's pennies compared to what Adidas and other brands are reportedly ready to put on the table. But here's the thing, Clark's value isn't just in the numbers, though she's got plenty. She shattered the all-time NCAA Division I scoring record, for both men and women. She sold out arenas. She didn't just join the conversation around women's basketball, she rewrote it. And yet, Nike doesn't seem to get it. Just like they didn't get it with Curry, both Steph and Caitlin have that same quiet fire. They are not brash. They are not chasing headlines or feeding scandals. They are respectful, focused, humble. They let their game speak volumes. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly why Nike missed them both. Too clean. Not edgy enough for a brand that so often leans into controversy and shock value to sell its story.
Alec Burks guarding it from the start. Wiggins again. Here's Curry for the record. It's good! There it is!
What Nike failed to recognize, both times, is exactly what makes athletes like Curry and now Caitlin Clark truly special. They don't need to play the villain to be legendary. They don't need shock tactics or controversy. They earn their spotlight through pure, undeniable excellence. And here's the wildest part. Nike had a front row seat twice, and fumbled it both times. Caitlin Clark now stands at the same crossroads Steph once did. She has a chance to walk away from a brand that underestimated her worth and align with one that sees her true value. She could build something iconic, something bigger than a shoe deal. And if that sounds far-fetched, remember this. Steph Curry now has a lifetime deal with Under Armour and a signature line that's generating billions in brand value. That could be Caitlin in just a few years. Only this time, she's doing it while carrying the weight of an entire movement in women's sports.
Clark, as Lainey Hamilton has been to Caitlin Clark all night tonight.
Are you talking about my high school experience? Clark, cut it!
If that's not deja vu for Nike, I don't know what is. Here we are again, Nike, standing in front of greatness, shrugging their shoulders. Caitlin Clark, like Steph Curry before her, is on the brink of a legacy-defining moment. The real question isn't whether she'll rise to the occasion. We all know she will. The real question is, which brand will recognize her worth before it's too late? Because if they miss this one again, it won't just be a mistake. It'll be remembered as the brand that failed to recognize greatness, twice. And then, there's Isaiah Thomas. Arguably the smartest point guard to ever play the game. His verdict.
I actually love the attention that Caitlin has brought to the WNBA, and I love the attention that women's basketball is getting. For too long, we've kind of the media hasn't really shined the light on the WNBA athletically and competitively. They'll give it a nod every now and then, but now, since Caitlin has arrived and she had a great college career and she was fantastic to watch, and you're curious and you want to see it go on. So I think it's great what she's done, and I think it's great what the media and the WNBA and marketing and the players are doing, because controversy is not good, but controversy sells.
And that's where things take a wild turn. When Isaiah Thomas says your basketball IQ is special, it's more than just praise, it's approval. And in the NBA, that's sacred. If you're in the top 1% of that conversation, you've earned a seat at the table. But it doesn't stop there. Enter Tyrese Halliburton. He's not just a fan of Caitlin Clark, he's a believer. He's hyped to welcome her to Indiana, ready to see what happens when Clark takes the stage in the WNBA.
Many times, Caitlin is amazing. She's, I think for me, getting to actually spend time around her, be around her, get to know her personally, she's just an amazing person, an amazing player. She deals with there's a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over. And I think that the way she handles that is just amazing. Like, I think when it comes to the game of basketball, like, she's probably top 5 most famous people that are playing right now, just in general. That includes our league as well. And she handles it with such grace, and she's like such a cool person. At the end of the day, she's just a girl from Iowa who's just really good at basketball, and it's really cool to see what she does. And I think the Fever in general, they're like rock stars. They are a big part of the growth behind that league, and they will be a big part of that moving forward, because I think everybody can see that there's going to be a lot of success from that team moving forward, with the Leah and Kelsey and, new coach. I mean, she's a superstar, and really one of the first superstars that the W has had at that level, at the level she's at. So to see what she's doing is amazing. And, she's become a good friend of mine, over the past year, and anything that I can do to help, I will. But I don't think she necessarily needs my help by any means. She's amazing. That group is amazing. And to see what they're doing for women's basketball as a whole has been really cool. And she's spearheading that. So I'm just glad to be a part of the journey and watch what she does. I feel like I have like a front row seat, with her being in our backyard and, the Fever.
Wait until you hear this part. Tyrese Halliburton didn't just admire Caitlin Clark. He hinted at a potential collaboration. Imagine this. The Pacers and Fever bringing Indiana basketball back into the spotlight, all thanks to Clark. That's not just WNBA impact. That's citywide impact. And if you think that's big, here's the kicker. Chris Paul, one of the sharpest basketball minds in history, called Clark's Rookie of the Year performance well-deserved. The game? It's in good hands.
This past season was crazy. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in WNBA history. 3-time Eastern Conference Player of the Week. 4-time WNBA Rookie of the Month. I could go on and on. So shout out to you, Caitlin. It's been amazing to watch you hoop day in and day out. Not just to see the behind the back going left threes from deep, but more so just to see the passion and the joy that you play with, and to see the way that you make your teammates better. So I just want to say